Hello, folks. I hope that you're having just a great day today. Today we'll take a look at The Floor Above. It's a short story from 1923, the October issue of Weird Tales, and it's written by ML Humphreys. Now, ML Humphreys, this is his only short story or novel or anything that's ever been credited to him. So who is ML Humphreys? The editor of this collection, H.P. Lovecraft's favorite Weird Tales, actually thinks that it was probably because of how good the short story was. It's highly doubtful that this is a one-off, right? This is probably somebody who had a pseudonym. Maybe they didn't want to write horror or be known as a horror writer. Or maybe if they were writing, they didn't want to think that they were slumming it for Weird Tales because they were a romance novel or something like that. But this is their only publication, ML Humphreys and The Floor Above. Now, I'm bringing this to you again from H.P. Lovecraft's favorite Weird Tales, which is a collection of short stories that were considered the absolute top of the craft by the master himself, H.P. Lovecraft. He wrote some letters to some fellow writers and editors about what short stories he thought were the best in the genre. He wrote letters to actually be published in like Weird Tales for its 10th anniversary issue, where he talks about the 5 best short stories that were written in Weird Tales, and this is one of those 5. So we'll take a look at it. The Floor Above, 1923 Weird Tales, which is in its early part because it got started in the early 20s. So this is right after it got started as a magazine. So let's take just a quick look at The Floor Above. It's about 12 pages in my collection. It probably took me about 25 minutes to reread it on Monday. I'm recording this on Thursday. So basically what's going to end up happening is we're going to start with and here I'll just kind of show you. The story opens up with a sort of a dialogue, a sort of a diary, sort of a concept of our main character. And then he gets he gets just a couple paragraphs in after having breakfast at his establishment. He gets a note from a gentleman called Arthur that says, "Dear Tom, old man, can you run down and see me for a few days? I'm afraid I'm in a bad way." Now he'll talk about and there's an address on there. He'll talk about the fact that this person who's writing him, he hasn't talked to or seen in 20 years. They used to be really good, tight, best friends, but they both have gone their separate ways since then. So what's happening with this person? This gentleman, Arthur. And so Tom's going to go visit him, but before he does, after he leaves the note in a specific place overnight and then comes to it the next morning, because he wants to get the address from it, the note has disappeared. But he suspects that his staff may have taken it, so he interviews them, because he's obviously somebody who's like an antiquarian, somebody who has money, who has people that work for him. But anyway, he's going to head to Baltimore, which is where Arthur, the person he's going to go visit, lives, which is of course ironic because I live in Catonsville, which is literally adjacent to Baltimore. It's in the Baltimore suburbs. So I thought that was actually kind of funny. But anyway, so I went ahead and read it. So he'll go to the address. It's not a well-known address. He's been in Baltimore before. He has no idea where this place is. Ultimately, he'll find the 536 North Marathon Street in Baltimore. And he'll get there and he'll figure out what's happening. And then he starts to try to figure out what's actually happening in the house itself, what's happening with this person, why was this note set, how is he in a bad way, and you'll begin to follow our investigations of Tom as he explores and tries to figure out what's happening with his friend Arthur. And that's it. This is a very good short story. It's about 13 pages long in my collection. Again, it took me 28 minutes for me to read it on Monday. It's very well done. I'll link you to this collection below. 1923 short stories tend to be for past their copyright date, so they should be free for people to publish online without any pushback from somebody. But the problem is that who cares enough about it? This is a 1923 story from Weird Tales. It's the only story by ML Humphrey. So it's not like, ML Humphrey's this big fan base that might, like an H.P. Lovecraft or a Robert, or Clark Ashton Smith or a Robert E. Howard, right? Who has these big installed fan bases who are more than happy to take the time out to put these stories online and then have them available for other fans or potential fans to read, right? So I don't know that ML Humphreys' short story, given that this is the only thing he ever published, this is the only byline under ML Humphrey. So I have no idea if this story is actually going to be online or not. I'll try to find it for you. Maybe it is because of how much Lovecraft loved it or its collection. But this collection might, even if it is past its copyright date, might be the only way in. So we'll just take a look and see. But there you are. That is The Floor Above by ML Humphreys, published in October 1923's Weird Tales for you. So have you read The Floor Above? What did you think about it if you did? Is there anything in this video that you agree or disagree with that you'd like to talk about more in the comments? Because I'd be happy to engage you with it further. If you like this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button because there's going to be a lot of these to follow. And finally, hey, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and investing it in my video. We all have so many things happening in our lives, right? And so we're being pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you invested this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have a great day.